Hey guys, it's Q&A time. So excited. Alright, so I posted on my story yesterday that I was going to do a Q&A, ask me anything. I got some great questions, honestly, a good amount of questions that I think are great for this video. I'm gonna go through them and we're gonna do this. First question, would you recommend having a portfolio before applying to agencies? I would say yes. I will highly recommend having a portfolio before applying to agencies, and that's mostly if you're a non-industry standard model, meaning that you're a mid-size or you're a plus size or you're petite like me. I feel like having a portfolio gives you higher chances of getting signed because you actually have something tangible that you can show to an agent and make them see like, look, this is what I got, this is what I can do. You know, it has happened to me so many times that I first come into an agency and at first they're like about me, and then I show them my portfolio and then they change their mind. All right, next question. Does being signed with an agency mean that you will have jobs? No, being signed to an agency does not 100% mean that you will have jobs. Obviously, it gives you higher chances if the agency is good, and if the agency is actually really good and really interested in you, you should be able to eventually start getting jobs. But there's so many factors when it comes to getting signed to one agency. Sometimes the agency is too small, or it's too new, or the market is too slow. Or the market's too small, or your book is not strong enough, or you don't have enough experience, or it's just the time of the year. So many variables that can go into you booking work that no, being signed to an agency does not equal having work. But if you have the talent, put in the work, are with the right agency, the right market, and so many other variables that go into it, hopefully, yes, you'll be working. Can you talk more about how you overcame your body image issues? I'm struggling with it. Well, I didn't really realize I had body image issues until I rebound from doing a really low carb diet, and I was very sad, very dissatisfied with my body, and I was just in a really bad place. I think it's like the worst place I've ever been in my entire life, to be honest. I felt literally heartbroken every time I saw myself in the mirror, and I just wanted to cry, and I actually did cry because I was so sad that I looked the way that I look and I didn't like the way that I looked. The way that I overcame this was by learning how to practice self-love. I've never in my life practiced self-love before, actually practicing. Like, obviously I did tell myself in the mirror sometimes, like, oh, you're beautiful, or you look really pretty, but obviously there were times that I did not do that, and there were times that I criticized myself, I criticized my body and things like that. So I started to learn that every time I look at myself in the mirror, it's just a time for me to say positive things about myself, and not just on my physical appearance, but also who I am as a person. So I not only work on thinking like, oh, I really like my eyebrows, I also work on like, well, I really like my heart, so things like that. That's how slowly but surely I started to change the way that I look at myself, and then it also helped me to not go on social media and compare my body to other girls. Like, it helped me so much to stop myself doing that every time I did it, and just go scroll through Instagram and see a body and see like, oh, well, she looks great, good for her, and then continue, because my body type is so different that girl's body type, and my body will never look like hers, and hers will never look like mine. Like, it's just how it is, we're all different. What do you eat on a normal day? Well, on a normal day, I wouldn't say that anything on my day-to-day is like set in stone. I'm very flexible. But if I'm eating at home, basically in the morning I make me a chocolate smoothie. Usually, currently right now, it has like 2 bananas, a scoop of like protein powder, it has like almond milk, almond butter, hemp seeds, cacao powder, and I think that's pretty much it right now. And then for lunch, I've been making me like chocolate pancakes, which are made of like oatmeal and banana mixed with egg, and then I top it off with like strawberries and like things like that, and like honey. And then for dinner, I've been making me like spaghetti, like pasta with like ground beef and broccoli and mushrooms. That's been like since like January maybe, that I've been literally making me that like almost every single day. And then other than that, like, I'm so flexible. Like, if my brother or my dad or like a friend wants to go out and eat like tacos, pizza, burritos, whatever it is, I eat it. Like, I don't care. I mean, as long as I'm craving it and I want it, you know, or like if they want it and like that's what they want, like I'll go with them, you know, and be like, yeah, sure, like we'll eat pizza, you know, I'll have it, you know. I don't have any type of like restrictions in terms of that. How do you stay in shape? Well, I work out usually 4 times a week, but honestly, like some weeks I cannot do that. Sometimes I don't work out at all. Sometimes I work out twice in a week. Sometimes I work out 3 times, sometimes 2, sometimes 1. But if I having a perfect week in terms of like working out is 4 times. I go twice to the gym and I work out twice at home. I do full body workouts every single time I work out. It's just because I don't know 100% sure when I'm gonna be working next. So I just want to make sure that all of my muscles are being taken care of. And yeah, I mean, I don't do that much. If I do 4 workouts in a week, that's just 3 hours of my entire week. Beauty tips. Well, I think that every single body and hair type and skin type, you know, is just different. But yeah, I mean, I will say definitely like take off your makeup before going to bed. And I would say wash your face in the morning, wash your face before going to bed. Depending on your hair type, for example, mine hair is very thin and it's like greasy, so I got recommended to wash it every single day. It completely changed my hair and it gave it life back to it. So it all depends on your hair type and stuff. I know some girls cannot do that, so it all depends. Has a mother agent ever made you pay for a photo shoot? Well, I don't have a mother agent, so the answer will be no. But I have definitely paid for a couple of my portfolio photo shoots before, for sure. What was your first agency you ever signed with, and how long did it take to get your first job? So my first agency I ever signed with, and I'm still with them, is Model. They're located in Virginia. And it took about, so I signed, I believe in November, and I think I had my first photo shoot like for my portfolio in December. And then I think I had my very, very first job in May of the following year. And it was a job as an extra. It was not as a principal. It was for Busch Gardens. And it was a really cool shoot, but we were freezing though, because we were shooting like it was summertime, but it was still like very like early spring. It was early spring, but it was just really cool. But yeah, how do you become a model? Well, I have so many videos that talk about this, so I'm gonna just like skip this question and just let you know that if you want tips on how to do that, check out my other YouTube videos because I have so many information about that for sure. What is a good age to start modeling? Well, it all depends, to be honest. I think a good age to start modeling is just the age where you are able to do it. Meaning, for example, if you are 14 and both of your parents work and you are not old enough to have a car and drive yourself around, you don't live in a big city where public transportation is really easy to get around, then maybe at 14 might not be the great age to start, unless let's say like one of your parents is super supportive about you and tells you, you know what, like we'll figure it out once it happens. You know, it all depends on your support system too. I was wondering about how possible it is to model and have an eco-friendly lifestyle. I think you can have an eco-friendly lifestyle if you choose to be eco-friendly in your daily lifestyle. You know, like the clothes you buy, how often do you buy, how do you take transportation? Do you take public transportation or you take your car, or like the type of brands you're willing to work with. I think it's just like if you already live an eco-friendly lifestyle, just take that lifestyle into your modeling, and I think it should work out. What was your biggest eye-opener in modeling? That I'm too short to do fashion. That I'm too short to sign to some agencies. Definitely, for sure. Like, I've never really thought about my height in my entire life, like how height had to do with modeling. Like, never thought about it until I started modeling and started getting rejected by agencies because I was too short. Like, that was just like, I'm too short? Like, I am? Any regrets modeling? I would say maybe I do have one regret, but at the same time, you know how people say like the things you do like shape you and shape your life and the decisions you make after that and things like that. So I would say like it was just an experience that I never want to have again, and I hope nobody ever has that experience. but it's just, you know, it was a way for me to really get to know me, and it was just an experience that taught me that not everything that shines is gold, basically. Were your parents supported for modeling? Yes, 100%. Especially my dad. He was just like amazing. He went to all my first like collaborations that I did, like all the test shoots that I did with like, you know, people that I didn't know. He always, I don't know how, but he always took the time to take me and be there with me and stuff. So it was great, great. Yeah. Where did you get your inspiration for modeling? Well, when I started, I never had a model that I looked up to. I never had an idea of what level I want to reach. There was the one model that I eventually, when I first started, eventually like heard about, and I found her stuff and I absolutely like admire her because she was so good at what she did. Like she it's one of the very few models that I've seen like a true chameleon and a true talent, like innate. I don't know how to explain it. She was so good, and she was local, and I just wanted to be like her. Like she wasn't even signed to an agency, she wasn't even, you know, working with like big brands that I knew of, but she was just doing amazing work with like, she did work with some they seem like really cool brands, you know, but it was not none of the stuff that I know. It was not like Ulta Beauty or like Nike or Reebok, things like that, but she was doing like really cool collaborations, and she was getting paid for it too. So that was like my goal that I had in my mind. But yeah. How do you keep your skin looking and feeling clear and smooth? Well, like I said, every skin type is different. Mine, I've never really battled with acne, but I do have oily skin, and I do get like little bumps. I don't feel like you can see it. I get like little bumps on my forehead because of it, and I just have to wash my face like morning and night, and use like a couple of stuff that, I don't know if it dries it out, but it like helps with like the oily skin. And I made another video though about my skincare and talking about dandruff too, because I have to keep it like under control. Like right now, like if I do this, like nothing's gonna happen because I have it under control. But I do have a video talking about that, so if you want to see that, I talk more about my skincare routine. Do you think I will need to have straight teeth before applying to agencies? This is my only worry. Not at all. Like there's plenty of successful models out there now that don't have straight teeth. So for me, as long as you have the talent to put in the work, you should be fine. You don't have to worry about that. Do you know any sign language? I do not. Best way to turn down or let clients know you don't work for free collabs. If you're getting these messages and you don't want to work with these people, basically you just have to either, you can ignore them, or you can just tell them like, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. It will be great to work with you, but actually my rate is this and this. Let me know if by any chance you have a budget for it, and if not, I understand. Thank you. You know, you can be nice. You can let them know like, hey, like this is my rate, or you can just ignore. Like you don't have to respond, but it's up to you. Do you think that Petites will ever make it to the runway? Petites have already made it to the runway. It's just not mainstream yet though. But I do believe that it's possible, and it will eventually happen because of the trends that we've been seeing with plus size model and mid-size models. I don't have anyone to help me take Polaroids. What do I do? Well, I would tell you to get a tripod and put your phone on the timer and do it yourself, but I doubt that you even have a tripod. So I would find a way to put your phone in a certain position where you can, like up on top of books or something, so you can, or stick it on your wall or the window, even with tape, I don't know, with something, and put the timer on and take your digitals like that. If not, like seriously, just tell your parents or tell a friend to come over one day and help you with the digitals. Like you just need a way for the phone to be held somewhere so you can take your digitals. What should you do if you're uncomfortable doing a shoot like nude lingerie? 100,000% don't do something that you're not comfortable with. It doesn't matter that other girls are doing it. It doesn't matter that whatever it is that the photographer or the stylist or whoever tells you, it does not matter. If you're not comfortable doing that, do not do it, because it's not worth it. Literally, like, that is really not going to change anything in your career if you don't do those things. Like, it's not going to make you a better model or a worse model if you don't do those things. Tell them, no, I'm willing to do this, and if they don't agree with more clothes, then just say no, you know. And that's a red flag, and that is you saving yourself from a bad situation. What is your ethnicity? I am Latina, and I was born and raised in El Salvador. What advice would you give to an aspiring petite model? I would say that work really hard, be very patient, research as much as possible, agencies, things that are happening in the modeling world. I would say put your head down and do not compare yourself and your journey to other models. I would say highly watch my videos and follow my advice, or at least, you know, the general idea of my advice. And I would just say to be conscious of the amount of rejection that you're gonna receive. Be conscious of the amount of time that it's gonna take you to get where you wanna get, and be okay with it. You know, I think those are like the most important things when you're a petite model, because I know that rejection and getting told no and not booking a ton of work and so many things that can make you become desperate, it's just normal, and it's just bound to happen. So as long as you are like okay with that and normalize that, then you should be good to go. This is a serious inquiry, no BS. How would I be able to set up a shoot with you? If interest, of course. So this is from a photographer. I would say, so the thing is this, like, I really only do collaborations with people that I see we have the same level or higher in terms of talent, and it's gonna help me with my portfolio, because with my portfolio is how I get jobs, and you know, this is what I do for a living. If you're willing to pay me to shoot with you, I would appreciate it, but I would not do it just because I am not involved in that type of business in terms of like modeling. I decided a while ago that I was just not gonna go that route, and it's just my decision. So I will have to look through your like portfolio and see if like what you shoot matches model agency's portfolio like standard. And if it does, like, I will reach out. But if it doesn't, then it's just, you know, we're just not compatible right now, and it's totally fine. All right, guys, those were all of the questions. I thought they were great, amazing questions. Thank you so much for sending them to me. I had a lot of fun doing this Q&A. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also hit that like button for me. And also don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms. Everything is at Andre Ventur, that's with 3 R's. And I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, here, and maybe somewhere else. But yeah, so thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!